Okay, so let's see again. This is the question on a para summary. So let's go through this particular para summary. So it says that all that we think we know about life hangs together is really some kind of illusion that we have perpetrated on ourselves because of our limited vision. Okay, so I mean, like it's kind of the passage says that हमें जो भी illusion है, okay, कि how life hangs together. Okay, it's just an illusion. Okay. Now, why this is an illusion? Because it is our limited vision, right? Now, they say that what appears to be inanimate objects such as stones turn out not only to be alive in the same way that we are, but also in many infinitesimal ways to be affected by stimuli just as humans are. पर पागल हो गया क्या? Okay. So it says that कि हमने जो भी we imagine कि how life hangs together is just an illusion because we have a limited vision. And जो चीजें हमें लगती है कि inanimate है such as stones, okay, it turns out not only to be alive in the same way that we are, but also it seems to be affected by stimuli just as humans are. Now, the distinctions between animate and inanimate simply cannot be made when you enter the world of quantum mechanics. So basically, अब समझ में आया ना कि क्यों stone हमारे जैसा है, because quantum mechanics के अंदर animate और inanimate में कोई भी difference नहीं है, okay? So the distinction between animate and inanimate simply cannot be made when you enter the world of quantum mechanics and try to determine how those apparent subatomic particles of which you and everything else in our universe composed are all tied together. Okay, so quantum mechanics kya batati hai that how these apparent subatomic particles of which you and everything else in our universe is composed are all tied together. The point is that physics and metaphysics show that there is a pattern to the universe that goes beyond our capacity to grasp it with our brains. Okay, so it says that कि physics and metaphysics का एक pattern है, okay, that goes beyond our capacity to grasp it with our brains. Okay, so basically we can see that this particular passage is talking about that कि जो हम distinction देखते हैं between the living or between the animate and inanimate. Okay, so there's not much of the difference when we get into the things of quantum mechanics. Okay, so, and it says that at quantum mechanics level, okay, those distinctions break down and everything responds to stimuli in same way. And then they say that the metaphysics and the physics, okay, so they have some deeper unified pattern that goes beyond our capacity to grasp it with our brains. Okay, now let's analyze this thing that why. I need to plug in my charger. Right? Okay, so let's analyze the option summary. Now, the correct answer to this question is option number one, right? Now, why one is the correct answer? Because it says arbitrary distinctions between inanimate and animate objects disappear at the scale of which quantum mechanics works. This is what the passage main argument is. Okay, वो ये बोल रहा है ना कि जो डिस्टिंक्शन है जो हमें लगता है आर्बिट्ररी डिसीजन है इनएनिमेट और एनिमेट का, वो क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स पे जाके क्या हो जाता है, खत्म हो जाता है. Now let's see what are the problems with the other options. The quantum physics indicates that an astigmatic view of reality results an erroneous assumption about the universe. Okay. Now, first of all, this you can say कि पहली बात तो was the astigmatic mention anywhere? Okay, so what is an astigmatic is basically you can say I mean like limited view. Okay, it's basically a kind of I would say that it's an imperfection in the eye. Okay, but here we can say the astigmatic is used here to show the limited view. So quantum physics, is it quantum physics? What are we talking about is the quantum mechanics, first of all. Okay, it's physics and mechanics similar, we doubt that. Now, quantum physics indicates that an astigmatic view of reality, okay, results in erroneous assumptions about the universe. Okay, now what is that? I mean, like it does not mention हमारा क्या है. चलो ठीक है, this is correct. पहली बात तो quantum physics गलत है. Okay, हमारा narrow view है reality का. Okay, and it just happens because of our erroneous assumptions about the universe. Okay, but what is this sort of the reality? Okay, where is that distinctions of animate and inanimate and ये सारा part तो यही animate inanimate पे जा रहा था ना, which is the majority chunk. Where is that, right? Now the inanimate world is both sentient and cognizant like its animal counterpart. Okay, so the passage does not say that inanimate world, especially the stones that is discussed. Okay, So they are sentient and they are cognizant. Okay, it says that it also alive in the same way. Okay, and it reacts to the stimuli. Okay, but again, does it say that inanimate objects are sentient or they are cognizant like humans? Okay, they just say that inanimate things respond to stimuli. Okay, are they conscious or not? We don't know that, right? And where is that distinction? Quantum mechanics, which is the hero of the story. Okay, now the effect of stimuli is similar in inanimate objects when compared to animate objects or living beings. Okay, now the problem here is that um the author only says that how these subatom देखो inanimate objects simply cannot be made ठीक है. Okay, so but also in many infinitesimal ways to be affected in stimuli just as humans are. Okay, so okay, so this is covering this part. Okay, so this option is covering this part, but it is not covering the broader idea. Okay, now where you see here that the arbitrary distinctions between animate disappears at the scale of which, so this is a broader theme. Okay, summary should not reduce the paragraph to just one example. It must capture the broader message. So that's the reason that the option one is the correct summary. I hope you got this right.